nations, their inheritance. So he didn't integrate no one. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, that means the land that these other nations are going to live on. When he separated the sons of Adam, so he didn't integrate no one. He separated the sons of Adam. We all come from Shem, Ham, and Japheth. After the flood, Noah's sons and their wives. He separated the sons of Adam. He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. So he gave us our land, and he mapped out the lands that these other nations would have once he gave the Israelites their land. You see? Look at Ecclesiasticus 24 and 8. In the Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus 24 and 8. So the Creator of all things gave me a commandment, and he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and thine inheritance in Israel. See? So the Most High, listen. Deuteronomy 32 and 9. For the Most High's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. See? Jacob, the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, is the lot of the Most High's inheritance. We are children of Israel. Ecclesiasticus 17:17. Ecclesiasticus 17:17. For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, so the Most High didn't integrate nations. He gave every nation their woman, their man, say procreate, and gave them their lands. And we just read. So you see, for in the divisions of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people. But Israel is the Most High's portion. So you see this division. Most High separated all the nations. What's the Mashiach Shai going to do when he come back? To judge and make war. Let's find out. Go to Matthew 25 and 31. Matthew 25 and 31. Since everybody thinks they're supposed to be integrated, everything supposed to be together, let's find out. When the Son of Man, who was the Mashiach Yahushua, shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. He's going to sit upon the throne, powers and authority going to be given to him, and he's going to sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations going to be gathered before him, and he shall separate them. But I thought it's okay to be integrated. Why is he going to separate all the nations if it's okay to be integrated? He shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. He's going to separate all the nations as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep, what he told us in Matthew 15 and 24, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So he said, and he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. So he's going to put the sheep on the right hand, the 12 tribes of Israel on his right hand, and the goats on the left. So when you understand this, this is division, point blank. And when you read Daniel's 8:21, when the Greeks came into their first kingdom under Alexander the Greek, Daniel's 8:21 said, and the rough goat is the king of Grecia, and the great horn of power that is between his eyes is the first king, who is Alexander the Greek. So, and it's not just necessarily the Edomites as the Greeks or Esau lineage that's going to be on the left side. It's the mindset of those that are following the flesh, that don't know the Most High, don't care to know him. You're going to be right divided with the ideologies, the education, the false religions, and all the things that they stand for that's contrary to the Most High. that mindset of the ghost. Matthew 25 and 30, I'm here, he's separating all the nations. It says, and he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Right? So what is he going to say to those on the left? Go to Matthew 25 and 41. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, who are the goats, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire. This is what h.o.d.c telling you. Get away from me and go into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. Hear that? Prepared for the devil and his angels. Verse 46. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, lasting forever. But the righteous into life eternal, because your name will be written in the book of life. Simple as that. Simple as that. So now, where you going to be? Where you want to be? Isaiah 44 and 1. You got a choice. But you see, he's separating everyone. He ain't about no integration. Isaiah 44 and 1. Yet now hear, O Jacob, listen, Shemai, Yasharallah, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Clear as day. You won't find where the Most High chosen no one but Israel, the Israelites. But we didn't want to follow his laws, statutes, commandments, therefore we were punished. Jeremiah 30th chapter and verse 10. Jeremiah 40 and 10, 30, excuse me, Jeremiah 30 and 10. We're going to read verse 10 and 11. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, said the Most High. Neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be at rest, shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. That's what the Most High is telling us. For I am with thee, said the Most High, to save thee. Though I make a full end of all nations, hear what he say, he's going to make a full end of all nations, whither I have scattered thee. So these nations where the Most High has scattered us, he's going to make a full end of those nations. Yet will I not make a full end of thee. So he's not going to make a full end of us. Because 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel is going to be redeemed, saved, delivered. But I will correct thee in measurement. He said he's taken this time, a time period of correction we have gone through. And will not leave thee altogether unpunished. So he say we the chosen people of the Most High. He said he's not going to leave us altogether unpunished. So what you think? You don't believe in the Most High's laws, you can do whatever you want to do, there's not going to be no punishment? Are you serious? That's to the chosen people. He said he's going to correct us in measure, and he said he will not leave us altogether unpunished. Remember, he said you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you, we as the Israelites, for our iniquities. Because when you understand Psalms 147, 19 and 20, this who we gave the laws to. Psalms 147, 19 and 20. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel, to the Israelites. He have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Most High. So he only showed his word unto the Israelites. We're the ones that have paid in hard bondage, especially in this bondage that we're in now. Isaiah 41, and we're going to read 13 to 16. Isaiah 41 and 13. For the Most High thy power will hold thy right hand. Hear this, Yasharala. Israelites, for the Most High thy power will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee. That's why people looking at the things that's going to go down are looking for death. Most High said he going to hold our hand and going to help us. Those that have faith to believe in him. He said, fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, said the Most High, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. So he's going to help us. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument, having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains. That's the kingdoms. This threshing instrument that he going to make us is an instrument of war. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shall make the hills as chaff. That chaff is the part of the wheat that just blow away. Thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them. The whirlwind is them chariots, them IFOs coming. And thou shalt rejoice by h.o.i. We're going to rejoice, be happy, and shall glory in the Holy One of Israel. We're going to glory in the Holy One of Israel. That's good news to me. Let's jump up to verse 10. Say, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. He must say, I am your power. I will strengthen thee. Yeah. I will help thee. Yeah. I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. He's going to uphold us with a Mashiach Yahushai of his righteousness. Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They're going to be ashamed and confuse all those that have been incensed against the 12 tribes of Israel. They shall be as nothing. Hear that? You ready for that? Say, they shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish. Better hear the word of the Most High. He said, they that strive against us shall perish. Thou shalt seek them and shall not find them. So you're going to seek them out and shall not find them. Even them that contended with thee. They that war against thee shall be as nothing, and as a thing of naught, and as a thing of nothing. That's why he told us, look. Told us to go back a chapter, Isaiah 40 and 17. He said, all nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. Thus say the Most High. Verse 15, behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, a small drop that fall from a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance, little dust that gets on the scale. Behold, he taketh of the isles is a very little thing. The people in the islands is a very little thing. See? These nations are as nothing. Look at 2nd Ezra 6 and 54. 2nd Ezra 6:54. He said there is nothing to be like vanity. He also says this. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest, the master of all thy creatures. Of him come we all. And the people also whom thou hast chosen. We know the chosen children of Israel are the chosen people of the Most High. All this have I spoken before thee, O Most High, because thou madest the world for our sakes. That's deep. He said he made the whole world for the children of Israel's sake. As for the other people that we just read about, he said there's nothing be like vanity. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, remember I told you, he used to come from Shem, Ham, and Japheth, Noah's sons. Thou hast said that they are nothing. We just read it in Isaiah 40:17. But be like unto spittle. Went a little deeper. Say they be like unto spittle, and as likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from the vessel. Take a look at all of them as a drop that falleth from the vessel. Told us that in Isaiah 40:15. So how you gonna tell the Apocrypha don't go with the Bible? Yes, it does. And now, O Most High, behold, these heathen, these other nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be masters over us and to devour us. But we, thy people, 12 tribes of Israel, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, Exodus 4:22, thy only begotten and thy fervent lover are given into their hands. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? Oh, we getting closer and closer to the end. Now we gonna know that the Most High's word is true. So it said, hey, go to Job, 20th chapter. Say all nations before him are as nothing. Go to Job's 20th chapter. We're going to start at verse 4. Job 20:4. Knowest thou not this of old? Do you know this of old? Since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. And we know Job 9:24 says the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Because Mashiach told the 12 apostles they're going to sit on thrones and judge the 12 tribes of Israel. And you know he's coming to judge and make war. He told them they're going to sit on thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So they painted their faces like themselves, lying to the people. Job 20:5. That the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Look at Job 14:5. Job 14:5. Seeing his days were determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. The Most High know. Every kingdom had a certain dispensation time to rule. It's time up. And its time is up for the kingdom that's ruling in the last days. The Edomites, the so-called white man's kingdom. Superpower of the earth. Look at 2 Ezra 6 and 7. In the Apocrypha, 2 Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Everybody want to know when's going to be the end of the world that we in now? Or when shall be the end of the first, this world that we living in now, and the beginning of it that followeth, and the beginning of the world that's going to follow after this superpower be taken down, or these kingdoms be taken down. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, in Genesis 25 and 26, of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. They were fighting in the womb. They'll tell you Jacob had a hold to his heel when he came out. For Esau is the biblical name for the forefathers of the so-called white man. For Esau is the end of the world. That means Esau would have to be ruling when? At the end of the world. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. Jacob is going to rule after Esau is taken out of power. That's why he's saying in Job 14:5, seeing his days are determined, the most I know, the number of the months, number of his months are with thee, is with the Most High. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Most High has appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. I mean, a certain dispensation of time. Colossians 3:25. Colossians 3:25. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done. And there is no respect of persons. See that? So you done wrong, they done wrong, they will receive for the wrong which they have done. Galatians 6:7. And see, they know it. Be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked. You're not mocking the Most High. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. See? So the things that they have done, they're going to also reap. Thus say the Most High. That's why you look at Revelations 13:9 and 10. They brought us in captivity, right? We still in their hands. Revelation 13:9 and 10. If any man have an ear, let him hear. And I believe everyone that's listening have ears. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword, and Esau was blessed with the sword, to live by the sword, must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. So that's captivity. Jeremiah the 30th chapter. Let's look at the 16th verse. Jeremiah 30 and 16. Therefore all they that devour thee, all they that devour the children of Israel, shall be devoured. And all thine adversaries, all our enemies, every one of them. They tell you in Deuteronomy 28 and 68. We know the book of Deuteronomy is talking to Israel. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt, which means captivity, slavery, and bondage. Again, another time, because the first time we walked into Egypt with ships. You hear that? You're going to bring us into captivity, slavery, and bondage with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. We haven't seen our homeland as a nation. We haven't seen the land of Israel. And there, when you go on these ships, you're going to be sold into your enemies. That's the adversaries that we're reading. It means enemies. For what? For bondmen, slave men, and bondwomen, and slave women. And no man shall buy you. Buy is a whole medieval word which means to save or redeem. No man's going to do that. I'll tell you that in Deuteronomy 28 and 29. So, Jeremiah 30 and 16, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured. And all thine adversaries, all our enemies that we were sold to, every one of them, he's not leaving any out, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee, they that have robbed us, shall be a spoil. They're going to get robbed. And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. So that's reparation to the utmost. That they know. That's why you're not going to get no reparation. We're going to get all their possessions. Look. You don't believe it? Look at Obadiah. Go to the book of Obadiah. And let's see. Verse 17. Because the book of Obadiah, let's go to 1. It said, the vision of Obadiah, thus said the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob concerning Edom. Remember, Esau is the end of the world. Esau became a nation, called themselves the Edomites, so-called indigenous Caucasian people. So what does he say in verse 17? But upon Mount Zion, we know Zion, we didn't define that as the children of Israel, shall be deliverance. I mean, we're going to be saved. And there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob, the family of Jacob, 12 tribes of Israel, shall possess their possessions. There it is. Just like they possessed our possessions. We went into captivity, slavery, and bondage. So, look at Psalms 37. Well, the Psalms, the 37th chapter, and verse 35. Psalms 37 and 35. I have seen the wicked in great power. See, most I say, he see the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a green bay tree, just spreading his way all over. There's a green great tree, he says. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. He ain't gonna be found. Yeah, I saw them. Child was looking for him, but he could not be found. Let's go back to Job 20 and 6. Just a moment.